Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So types of constructions. First, let me see the body on frame. So body on frame, basically, we'd have seen more of the chassis before building a bus, right? When you're traveling on the highways, you'd have seen more the truck chassis or the bus chassis. So the same like that here. So you can see the chassis here. So there's a body on frame design. So there is a body which is mounted to the frame itself. So in this one, what happens? The engine, the wheels, the axles, the spare wheel, all whatever has to be mounted to the chassis. It is mounted. Then the body is fitted onto this like this. So this is how the body on frame. So in this one, it has more load carrying capacity, more people carrying capacity. On the chassis, you can build your own design of trucks or buses. And but in the car, when you have a chassis, there is a company built, so you can't do any other designs in this. So this is how it is made, and it is more heavier, and you can put more load also. So this is a bus. So let me see the bus chassis, and this is the chassis of the bus. So the chassis of the bus will be like this. So this is basically like we have this Ashok Leyland or Tata. So comes with the front engine with the rear wheel drive. So this is how it is designed in the front. And there's one more layout, that is rear engine, rear wheel drive. So the engine is here, the power is transmitted to the wheels. We have seen the body on frame or the ladder frame chassis, right? So what is a monocoque or the unibody design is? So there is a kind of a chassis which will be integrated with the body shell itself, and there the engine is mounted, the suspension is mounted, and all the parts, whatever is mounted to the chassis in a ladder frame chassis, but here it will be mounted to the body directly. So that this is kind of like a car technology. So cars generally comes with this, and this has a more it's all spot welded structure, has more higher rigidity, more lighter in weight when compared to the chassis. But this cannot take more load, so comfort levels are much better. This is for the performance. So lower the vehicle weight, it gives you more better performance and very good fuel efficiency. So then comes the dimensions. So let me see the dimensions. The overall length of the vehicle, which has from the frontmost part of the car to the rearmost part of the car, will be the front overall length, and overall height is like this. So from the ground level till the topmost part of the car will be taken as overall height of the car. And then comes the ground clearance. The distance from the ground till the bottommost point of the car. So ground clearance, sometimes we have fixed ground clearance and variable ground clearance. Fixed ground clearance in the sense like the body will be higher, but the rear axle differential or the front axles will be lower. So basically this happens with the MUVs or SUVs, especially SUVs, because those bodies are a little more higher, and the rear axle differential, the drain bolt is, that is the ground clearance. That's a fixed ground clearance. And so if you're going for any off-roading, right, so if there is any stone passing underneath the vehicle, so it should not touch any of the part, and even the rear axle differential also. The distance from the center point of the front wheel to the center point of the rear wheel, this is called the wheelbase. So the longer wheelbase, you get more space inside and more stability, more high speed stability. And then comes the wheel track. So the wheel track is calculated like this: from the center point of the right wheel to the center point of the left wheel. That distance is taken as a wheel track. So more wider the wheel track, it gives you more better stability also, and especially when you're driving on the highways. So overall width is taken as like this. The farthest most point from the right to the left will be taken as the overall width. The overall width will be calculated in such a way that the extreme right to the extreme left. So what is maximum it will be taken. So that will be the overall width. So dimensions will be very much useful for you whenever you are planning to buy a car. Make sure these dimensions are taken care very well so that you can park your car inside your garage. And in this dimensions, we have the front overhang and the rear overhang. Why this is because most of the SUVs require this. So longer the front overhang or the rear overhang, you can go on any of much of off-roading. So the front overhang will be calculated from the frontmost part of the vehicle, that is the bumper, and till the center point of the front wheel. And the same as that at the rear, it is calculated from the rearmost part of the car, that is a rear bumper, from the rear bumper to the center point of the rear wheel. It is taken as the rear overhang. Then, as we already spoke about the wheelbase, from this center point of the rear wheel to the center point of the front wheel will be the wheelbase. And then something called as angle of approach, angle of departure, and the ramp angle. So angle of approach and departure, should be little more, like in SUVs it has to be little more longer angle, so that when you're going for the off-roadings, right, so it doesn't touch any of the stones or any of the obstacles. So the same kind of at the rear also. So I'll show you the next slide. I'll show you with the example how it is. And the ramp angle is also shown there. So the how it is calculated is from the ground level, and the contact point of the tire to the ground will be taken as the angle, and the angle raised up till the bottommost point at the front and the rear. So that angle is taken as the front angle of approach and the angle of departure. So this is how it is. So example, in your place or in your maybe in your place we have a road or something where it has a flat road here, and then it raises up here, right? So when the front wheel comes up here and gets contacted to the this angle, this is a ramp. Once before when it's entering here, right, this should not touch here. So the front bumper should not touch the ramp. So that's how it has to be. The car has to be designed. So that's the reason SUVs are designed in a way that it can handle off-roading. But what people do, we take the SUVs on the higher speeds, like it will lose its stability. Why? Because the SUVs are designed in a higher center of gravity. But when you're taking a curve or a turn, right, there will be a body roll, because it's again built on a lateral frame chassis, is more heavier, and it can tend to tilt left and right, so depending on the turns, and in some case it can topple also. So when you raise up the ramp, so this particular part should not touch here. So after raising up, the rear part should not touch the flat surface. And this is the ramp angle. So when you're from this flat surface, when you're getting down the incline, right? So this particular angle should not touch the under part of the car. So this is called the ramp angle. And in the car, in this case, in the car or sedan, this is how it happens. So when you're approaching the ramp, right, the front bumper, or we call this nose, this is the nose of the car. So this touches the ramp. So this gets damaged. So then the same as this here. Car goes up the ramp, the rear part touches the ground. So the same as the ramp angle also. So whenever you're getting down the basement or any basement of the car, right, so this particular angle will touch the car's underbody and it tends to damage. And then comes the turning radius. So turning radius, what happens here is when there is a circle, this is a midpoint. So that same midpoint is here. This is a radius, this is a diameter. So when the car can take a right turn or the left turn, what is the shortest most circle it can take the turn? So that's how the turning radius is considered. So here, for instance, I will show you one car. It takes a turn towards right, and the outermost left front wheel will be taken as a consideration. I'll show you in the next slide. So when we are taking a turn towards the right, the front left wheel will be the outermost wheel. So maximum that will be the turning circle. So how much it can turn and you can take a U-turn, that matters here. Or turning or taking a circle, it matters here. So same like that in the inverted way. When you're taking the left, the front right wheel will be the outermost wheel. That's how the turning radius is calculated. So example, there are some cars which comes with 4.8 meter turning radius or 5.2 meter turning radius. It's measured from the center point to the outermost circle. So then comes the aerodynamics. So aerodynamics with the coefficient of drag. What is coefficient of drag? That's the measurement of airflow on an object, especially on an automobile, and it is measured in CD, but it doesn't have any particular unit saying that kg, meters, or anything like centimeters, millimeters like that. So example, for this car, we call it as 0.28. What is the CD? 0.28. That's how it is. Aerodynamics is a study of airflow on an object. It's like this. So if it is an automobile, so example, this is a bus or truck. So there's an airflow straight to the front part. You'd have come across this on the highways when you're traveling in the bike, right? So when there is any buses overtaking you, you might feel that airflow hitting you. This is a particular circle, like kind of thing. So bigger curve shape. So airflow will be very much there'll be deflection, but not like this the flat surface. So there'll be a airflow. There'll be slightly smoother airflow, but there'll be some resistance here, and more resistance here, the lesser resistance here. Furthermore, lesser resistance here, and this almost very low resistance. So how it is, like the flat surface, we have airflow, and it will deflect very much in a wider angle, and here the in a bigger curve shape, the airflow will be slightly more narrow down. This is a slightly more oval shaped, a curve shape, which will be having the airflow is much better, so that this gives you a very good performance with a better more fuel efficiency. and streamlined. Just imagine these are like your F1 cars, fighter jets, and like bullet trains. You'd have seen Shinkansen in Japan. The streamlined design of the particular train will have very good cut through the air and it passes very much faster. Okay, folks, today we have covered the dimensions of the car, taking up to the aerodynamics. Next session, we will see the engine, transmission, and others. Hope the session was very informative and helpful to you. If you're coming for the first time, please subscribe and with the bell icon to all. So if you have any doubts or any questions, please mention in the comments. I'll surely take time and answer you. See you in the next session. Take care. Till then, bye.